What is a K-shaped economy? Well, it's interesting because you look at the letter K, and what do you get? Actually, let's show our first illustration for it. I think that could help people. When you have the letter K, you have the vertical line that comes down, but you also have the two lines that go. One comes from the bottom left to the top right, and then the line below it goes from the top left to the bottom right. And that's the part we want to focus on, the part that this woman is sitting on here, which is showing that the economy is not working well for everybody. It seems that those that are in the upper class, those that are making higher wages, higher income, they seem to be coping a lot better than those that are in the middle and lower class. And that's what we mean when we call a K-shaped economy. And I always say, or I've said many times on our show, is that those that have investments tend to do better when the economy struggles than those that do not. Because obviously we could always tap into our investments if we're ever short money, if we need money to do something. Whereas those that live paycheck to paycheck and don't have as much in a way of investments, don't have an RSP, don't have things like that, they tend to have more of a struggle when the economy is slowing down and the economy is struggling. Our first chart, actually, let's see it here, shows exactly that the top 20%. So wealthy Americans in the top 20% continue to grow their spending. This shows the chart. You can see here that they call it revenge spending in the middle here, that you can see for the middle class and lower income Americans. But that is pretty much over. Now we're finding that middle income and lower income Americans are now just keeping up with the inflation rate with respect to spend, whereas the top 20 percentile of income earners and the wealthier individuals, they tend to spend a lot more. Once again, they have the means to do it, and they are continuing to spend. K-shaped economy. Next chart here shows a tale of two wallets. That is that's an interesting name for it. And on the left side, lower income household spending growth was about 0.6%, whereas that's year over year up to September. Whereas you compare that to higher income peers, their spending growth was 2.6%. You can see the gold line there being the highest out of the three, and that is the higher income, the higher spend. They obviously have more money to do so. On the right side, household wage growth. At what point, a few years ago, it was actually interesting enough, it was the lower income earners that saw a higher wage growth. They were seeing their wages grow faster than higher income earners. And that has, since in the last, let's call it year or so, that has actually reversed. And now we're starting to see that the higher income earners, after tax, wage, and salary growth by households, incomes, this is by higher versus middle versus lower, you can see that once again, the higher are growing their income or their wages more rapidly than the lower income earners. And as I said, if you look at the blue line back about a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years ago now, the lower income earners, they were on the top, and now it's reversed. The blue line is at the bottom, followed by the red and then the gold. So it has definitely flip-flopped, and you can clearly see that right now in this K-shaped economy, if you're a higher income earner, if you have a higher paying job, if you are in a, more in the upper class right now versus the middle and lower class, you're definitely finding it a little bit easier to cope with the higher costs of living that we're experiencing in Canada, higher costs of living they're experiencing in the United States. And it just seems that right now, money is helping to grow further money, whereas unfortunately, if you don't have money to invest, right now you are unfortunately struggling. So that's what a K-shaped economy is. And many people believe that we are in the thick of a K-shaped economy right now.